All right, welcome back to Politically Homeless. I'm here on YouTube and also Rockfin and BitChute. So go over to those places because you never know when this channel might be blocked for a couple of weeks, which just happened to me. I just got through being suspended for medical misinformation, right? Because that's what I do. I put out medical misinformation. Quite honestly, it was a video from someone else who I thought was telling the truth about something. And so I wanted to make sure that that video got out to a wider audience. And little did I know it would be pulled off the channel, and then my channel would receive a strike, and I would have to go through re-education camp, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had to take this little test to see, how communist I could be. So anyway, you have to essentially lie to get through it. Do you trust the health authorities? Oh, yes, 100%. I trust them. I trust them so much, I avoid them. That's how much I trust them. All right, so breaking news here about Joe Biden. I like to call him the corpse. And look, I know that's mean, right? Calling the guy the corpse, but look at him. Look at him. Does he look very alert here? That's just, oh man. Biden may decline Democratic nomination if he does poorly in upcoming debate. All right, so a narrative is being established, although this isn't being reported, over on like CBS News, the Wall Street Journal. They're not reporting this. Fox News isn't even reporting this. This is Seymour Hersh. Yeah, legendary reporter. Used to be a big deal over at the New York Crimes, but now is independent. And he knew about who blew up that pipeline, the Russian pipeline. He knew about that. And nobody would admit that he knew it. And he put the information out there. And it was proven that, the United States had something to do with it. It wasn't Russia blowing up their own pipeline. Oh man. I'm on a weird side of politics these days because it's a combination of like looking at this and going, what do you do about it? There's nothing you could do about it. You could try to vote the right way. You can work in your community to try to make it, somewhat more tolerable where you live. But for the most part, when it comes to DC politics, it's just a dog and pony show. And you watch it and you pray that something different will happen. And the exact opposite thing typically happens. So again, they're saying that Joe Biden will decline the Democratic presidential nomination if he does poorly at this upcoming debate with Donald Trump. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go against Sleepy Joe. One extreme possibility in the case of a very bad showing Thursday night, I have been told, that's interesting, is to obtain agreement from Biden and his family advisors for the president to come to the Democratic convention in Chicago, which I thought they were going to pull the plug on as far as the location, because they were thinking it might be too violent. Chicago is not a very peaceful place. And if you bring a whole bunch of political idiots there, regardless of who they are, could be Republicans, Democrats, politicians are not liked in Chicago right now and pretty much around the country. But you bring in all of these well-dressed elitist types, and I think all hell might break loose. But anyway, the strategy here is for the president to come to the convention and accept the accolades. Wow, Joe, amazing. We blocked all your competition and you won. And you won. Nobody knew. There was actually a couple of people who were trying to challenge Joe Biden. Marianne Williamson, I remember, was one of them. RFK, but then he switched over when he realized they're not going to make this fair. There are no debates, and so I'm out. It's like the Tulsi Gabbard routine. Yeah, I tried to play for this team, but the team they took all the rules and they smashed the game pieces on the floor. This is politics. The Democrats and the Republicans aren't that much better right now, and I can get into that a little bit, but This is really about Biden, so I'm going to try to stick to the script here. So yeah, he'd accept the accolades, then he would decline the nomination and throw the nominating process open to all. Oh no. So you'd have people like Gavin Newsom and Governor J.B. Pritzker, two communists who I think the Midwestern communist would be better than the California communist, but Gavin Newsom is like central casting for a slimeball, sleazy politician, a smooth talker as well, and used to be married to Don Jr. His girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, was at one time married to Gavin Newsom. This is why I think the whole thing is a swamp. So things weren't going well between Gavin. Have you seen Kimberly Guilfoyle lately? She's had some work done, and it's it's not good work. Wow. Why the long face, Kimberly? What's going on with those lips? Oh, they might explode. All right, I'm sorry. If James Orgusky were here right now, he'd be cracking up, but he's, investigating something. He's definitely investigating the World Health Organization as we speak here. Next week, Biden is going to need to match the intensity he demonstrated at his State of the Union address because he was hopped up on something and it worked pretty well. He was still just, I couldn't stand that State of the Union address, but he did have intensity. And I think it was some kind of a substance. And I'm thinking they're going to give it to him again. This is dangerous, right? If you're feeding a guy who's 82 years old, you're gonna give him some uppers. Here, Joe. How many should I take? 3, 4. I don't know. Let's take a whole bunch of them. It'll be great, Joe. So he needs that kind of intensity if he wants to stay in the race. The headline here: Biden freezes as Washington burns. So an aggregation of national polls by Real Clear Politics shows that Trump holds a half point lead against a corpse. This is you Trumpers. I mean, no, Donald Trump's going to win. I know he leads. It says he leads in all 7 swing states. And how accurate were the polls last time around? Were they accurate? No. And you guys haven't told me how it's not going to get stolen. Remember? The big steal and all that, stop the steal. I was involved with that because they had me convinced. And then, the 2000 mules thing proved to be kind of a hoax. It's just legally go Google what happened to 2000 mules, right? After the fact, these were all things to cause tribal warfare. And yes, this headline right down here should apply to everything. Everyone distracted as Washington burns. That's the headline. You've got RFK out there. Nobody's talking about him. He's actually talking about solutions to problems. He's actually speaking above the nonsense. And people will tell me why they don't like RFK, and I'll go, so who are you voting for? Well, I'm voting for Trump. Well, did you know this about Trump? Did you know his view on this has changed because he wants to moderate? Yes, but he'll moderate back. I trust him. Okay. Did Trump do all the stuff? Did he build a wall and have Mexico pay for it? Did he lock Hillary Clinton up? Did he not spend $8 trillion? Well, he had to. He had to. So he has no power then against the deep state. He's just another politician who says what you want to hear. You get all excited about it. You go, oh, I am so excited about Donald Trump. I can't wait to vote for him again. 3 times you're going to go vote for Donald Trump. By the way, if Trump were to win, he would step into the White House as an immediate lame duck. And I guarantee you, resolutions, left and right, of impeachment and all that stuff would be, right there greeting him at the door of the White House as soon as he walked through it. So I don't know. It just 2024 is nuts. My prediction, though, is if they do replace Biden and the person is not a complete idiot, and there aren't too many Democrats that aren't complete idiots, but if they chose someone a little bit more moderate, who wasn't talking about, I don't know, gender affirming care like every 30 seconds. Like that's the biggest issue that Americans are dealing with right now. If they could maybe talk about the economy and jobs and inflation and the border, interest rates, all of those sorts of things, and do it in a way that related to, Normieville, I think the Democrats would probably win. Because one of the things that people really are struggling with, people who supported Biden the last time, they're really struggling with his age. Okay. By the way, no mention here of Kamala Harris. That's funny. And it shows you how much people dislike Kamala. Just saying. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. If you like the content here, because I really don't get too many people watching these, think about maybe buying me a coffee. Yeah, you don't have to go over to Patreon like I do on the other channel, but here, if you'd like to buy a coffee, as a way to say thanks for just trying to do some political content, I'd appreciate that. And it keeps things going. Believe me, the price of goods and services has gone up radically since Biden has become the president, an argument that Trumpers like to use. But keep in mind, Trump also spent $8 trillion in addition to Biden's $7 trillion. So $15 trillion of new debt. And you wonder why your groceries have gotten more expensive. Maybe that won't be the case forever, but certainly it should be an issue that people care about for this upcoming election. God bless everyone. Save the world. God save the world. God save everything. Because, without God, there really isn't any hope for anything.